Ladies and gentlemen, to those among you who are easily frightened, we suggest you turn away now. To those of you who think they can take it, we say, welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Madhouse. I'm Jimmy, and over there's Joey.
Hey.
So, it was your choice this week. What we got?
Well, I have Child's Play this week. As we announced on the last episode, if you'd listened to it, Tom Holland directed this, released in 1988, all-time classic. I wasn't sure if I'd seen it until I watched it, and then I thought, obviously I've seen this. I recognise a lot of it. I watched it as a kid growing up.
Terrified me as a kid when I first saw it.
I think that might be why I can only remember about half of it. I watched it around before Scream came out, I was getting into slashers, and then Scream threw me into horror. So yeah, around about that time for me. How have you been anyway?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. You enjoy watching this?
Yeah, I did.
Again?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I love it. And I'm sure we're going to get to all the other ones.
We've got to now, sometime in the future.
Well, it's Child's Play 2 and 3 in this franchise, and then they branched off and did the Chucky franchise.
Yeah.
Bride of, Seed of, Curse of, Cult of.
Quite a few ofs.
Quite a few. And apparently they're doing a new one.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, which I didn't know when I picked this as the choice for today. I had no idea till I was Googling some facts.
I don't think... I said it's a new one, but it is a remake, isn't it? It's just a straight-out remake.
I didn't look too much into it, because if I want to see something, I don't usually look too much into it before I see it.
Yeah.
But what's the new one about?
Well, it's about a group of kids, and it's a very how would you say it? It's a better doll than...
More high-tech doll.
High-tech doll, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I'm guessing we'll find out, because we can't not watch it.
No, Mark Hamill's apparently doing the voice. I'm not sure about that.
Well, I think Mark Hamill's done a lot of good voiceover acting. He's been the Joker in the video games for a long time, and I didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
Not that I played too many of those video games, but I didn't know. So I wanted to give him a chance and see how the new film goes, but I'm not a fan of remakes of classics anyway.
Yeah. So I read somewhere that the film was based on Robert the Doll. Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay, it's an American folklore sort of thing. There's this doll in a museum, supernatural. It reckons people have it's caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes.
I think all my problems in life I can blame on that doll.
Let's do it. There's also there's Robert the
up.
Doll films as well. We might have to watch one of them at a time.
Yeah, well,
but
we're going to come up with a huge list of films to watch in the future. But
absolutely.
I like a huge list of films to watch.
But then, so I read that and I thought that's quite interesting. And then I read something else that Tom Holland completely denies the fact that it's based on Robert the Doll.
No, it's just coincidence.
Just coincidence.
To be honest, I have heard so many stories of haunted dolls. There's a podcast called Lore, and they've covered a couple.
Oh, yeah, they've got a TV show now.
Yes, on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yes.
Yeah. And Lore, the podcast, is brilliant, by the way. If you love this type of podcast, you'll love Lore.
Also, before we get down to it, did you... who's the guy who plays the detective? What's his name? Is it Chris Sarandon?
I can't remember. I had it written down. It's not here.
Oh, well.
Mike Norris. Detective Mike Norris is
the
character.
Chris Sarandon. So I was watching it, and I thought, I recognise this guy. I can't think. And then I watched it again for the second time whilst I was Googling stuff for this podcast. And he was the voice of Jack Skellington in A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. No, yeah, I did hear that. And he's in another Tom Holland film, and I can't remember the name of it.
Fright Night.
Yes.
Plays Vampire Jerry in Fright Night.
Yeah.
But for the second time I watched this film for the podcast, all I could hear then after that was Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
Which was right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I did read that the original story for this was a A toy doll that had latex skin that you could cut, and then
Your kid had to buy bandages for it.
and then
Yeah.
the kid Andy does a blood pack with him,
Yes.
and
So it was originally going to be called Batteries Not Included. And then they couldn't do that, obviously, because Spielberg had a film out.
Yeah, I was
Batteries
just about
Not
to say,
Included.
wasn't that?
Which is good, because that's a terrible name. I don't think that's a good name
No,
for
it's
this
not
film.
a good name. No.
And then it was going to be Blood Buddy,
Okay,
because of what you just said
he
about...
was going to be called Buddy as well, wasn't he? Rather
Yes.
than Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a toy, Buddy.
An actual toy.
Actual toy,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I
they're
didn't know
creepy. They're creepy, and I think they're called Buddies or something. But yeah, weird.
Yeah, that plot. How do you get from that kind of plot to? I mean, how many rewrites were there to get from that to where it actually ended up?
Well, yeah, it started as it was going to be a manifestation of Andy's rage in this doll. So Andy was going to control the doll and tell the doll to go and kill people that he didn't like.
That's a different film completely.
That's completely,
but they
yeah,
should make it
Well, yeah.
just to see how it would have gone.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about the plot.
Let's do it.
We just want to say we know the plot. Last time went on quite a while.
Little bit long.
So this time we've fixed the problem, and we are doing what we are calling a 20-minute plot slot.
Plot slot.
And we're going to have 20 minutes no matter what film we are talking about from now on to the future to get through the plot and just lay it down for you before we can move on to other sections and talk about the film from other angles. Because, like we said before, the idea is you've seen the film and we're talking about it, so we don't want to spend an hour talking about the plot when you know the plot, but we also feel like we have to get it done in some way. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because I have a stopwatch, and this is a proper challenge. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have 20 minutes.
20.
I think that I've just bought the stopwatch today, but I'm pretty sure it's got an alarm on it that goes off after 20 minutes. Now set the alarm, so you would hope. Anyway, are you ready?
Ready.
I'm setting it now.
Setting
Ready,
it.
steady. Take it away, Jimmy.
Okay, so I didn't know this, but in the film, on the night that the Lakeshore Strangler is being chased by homicide detective Mike Norris, Jack Skellington
Yep.
/ Chris Sarandon, it's November 9th, 1988,
Okay.
which is the same date of release, I believe.
What release of the film?
The release of the film, yeah, it came out on November 9th, 1988, and in the film, it's November 9th, 1988.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So the actual events following
Yes.
took on place all on that night and the following days.
Yes.
But did this film take place over a few days?
Yeah, a couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah. We haven't got time for that. We're on the clock.
That's true, yeah.
Right.
So, Mike's chasing the Lakeshore Strangler,
Yeah.
and he chases him into a toy store,
Yeah.
of course. Shoots him. Oh, we got to say, of course, he's the Lakeshore Strangler, Charles Lee Ray, named after three serial...
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
three
I saw
killers,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah. Charles Manson,
Charles Manson,
Lee Harvey Oswald.
yes, who may or
And-
may not have killed President Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast
Yeah.
altogether.
That's our conspiracy
Yeah, I can.
cast.
Well, yeah, that.
And all right, Ray. I know he killed Martin Luther King.
Yes, he did.
I can't remember his name.
Earl James Ray, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they chase him into. He chases him into the toy store,
Yeah.
shoots him. Not happy about that. Now I don't think Charles looks like a Haitian voodoo priest
No, he
at all.
doesn't,
I don't
no.
think he dabbles in that at all. But
No.
apparently he does. He needs to get into another body before he dies, and
Yeah.
of course the thing nearest to him is a good guy's doll, so he's in it.
Yes.
Lightning comes down, strikes the building as he's.
Yeah, with some amazing 1980s lightning effects. That's fantastic.
Great, and the smoke. Lightning comes down. He's given off a chant, a Haitian chant, Dombala, and all this. And then the toy store burns down.
And then it basically cuts to Andy's birthday morning.
Yes, but yeah, making his mum breakfast.
Yeah,
on his
making
birthday.
himself an insane breakfast for his mum.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been allowed to do that. It was mental.
Yeah, it's his birthday as well, so why is he making someone else breakfast? I mean,
She's clearly a drinker because it's daylight and she's sleeping.
yeah, and I think he's also doing it as an excuse to go and wake her up.
Yeah.
Because he wants his presents.
Yeah.
And he's watching Good Guy on TV.
So it's his favourite. It's his favourite show. He loves it. He's
Yeah.
also dressed like the good guy doll, isn't he?
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that.
his onesie's the good guy's doll.
Yeah,
costume.
he's obsessed with Good Guy doll.
Loves it.
Well, Good Guy the cartoon, at least, and the dolls come out.
Yeah, and he's just seen the advert for this brand new good guy's doll. He really wants it. He's walking. It's his birthday. He's walking to wake up his mum. Sees a big box on. I thought he knows it's that doll. It's got to be.
Yeah, he's pretty sure it's the doll, so he wakes her up. She gets out of bed. She's like, dude, it's really early in the morning. What's going on? Oh, yeah, it's your birthday. So they went through to open some presents after she really cleverly brushes off not eating that breakfast.
Straight in the bin.
Yeah. She says she'll eat it later.
Can't eat
She's
that with a
not eating
hangover.
it later. Nope.
She gives him the big box. He's like excited. It's like, yes, this has got to be it.
Yeah.
She opens it up. What's in there?
The first tragedy of this film.
Absolutely killer.
Clothes.
Clothes. There's a pair of jeans. Who's packing a pair of jeans in a box that big?
Oh, I think it was a jumper as well, but still.
There's a jumper in there. I
Yeah,
didn't see the
I think there
jumper.
was. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah.
Still.
Why? If that's the meanest thing to do in the world, well, probably not in the world because we're about to talk about a lot meanest things, but packing clothes into a box that is huge
Absolutely
for your
terrible.
child.
She plays dumb as well. She's like, oh, I didn't know because
Yeah.
he wants the doll.
What's
It's like,
wrong?
oh, it's too late now.
Bastard.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So next up.
She's at work, isn't she?
Yep. And she gets told she has to work late. Oh no, sorry, she gets told that there is a peddler.
A peddler outside, of course, selling toys. Of course, out of a trolley, like you do on a back street outside of a fucking, what is it called?
Yeah.
Mall? No.
Yeah. Well, some kind of shop.
Department store.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
No.
But yeah, and the way that it comes about is like, hey, there's just some homeless dude with the trolley selling that doll you're looking for at the back. It's like, oh, sweet, let's go. Well, whatever. Maybe that's what happened in the 80s.
Yeah, and she's like, is it stolen?
Yeah, it's obviously starting. No, I'm a licensed seller of these dolls, and this is how they send us out. This is the uniform.
Yeah. Yeah, I piss in my pants every morning. And I eat out the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fucking stolen, love. Of course it ain't.
Anyway, Andy gets the doll, which looks freaky as hell anyway.
Yeah, just straight off the bat, even
Yeah,
without
it doesn't look
moving.
nice. And they're watching TV, and the news comes on about his accomplice escaping prison, and that's the first time Chucky kind of does anything to signify to us, the viewer, that he's alive, turns his head to watch the news, because that's his accomplice that abandoned him on the night where he was shot and killed.
So Chucky's watching Andy's watching the telly, isn't he? His auntie's looking after him. Or, not his real auntie, but his other auntie.
Yeah, sorry, basically his mum's friend who he works
Yeah.
with, she's babysitting.
She's like, oi, Andy, you got to go to bed now. I've eaten all
Yeah.
your cake.
But hang on, Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news.
Yes, of course he does.
Freaky as hell.
That is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just the way Andy delivers the line. Well, it's because it's a child's voice, isn't it, in a horror film? Let's face it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, then the 9 o'clock news switches on. And I think it's Maggie. Aunt Maggie goes through and finds Chucky in the chair watching the 9 o'clock news and obviously blames Andy for it.
Yeah, she's put them both to bed, hasn't she? And then, like 5 minutes later, Chucky's watching the telly.
Yep. Then Chucky does a run around the flat and scares the shit out of her.
Well, we don't see him running around, do we, at that point?
We see
his footprints in flour.
no, but there's a bit where she's sat down. He runs behind her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you just kind of see him in a scary, freaky ass blur
Yes.
shoot across the screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, he bonks her on the head.
Yeah. She falls out the window.
Yeah, must have been
Mental.
a big bonk on the head.
Well, we saw it was a tiny little hammer and
And a tiny little doll.
a tiny little doll. Fucking no double glazing on that window. You're falling right out of there.
Nope.
Mental.
She falls to her death, lands in a car. Karen arrives home, runs really easily past a load of police line. No, it wouldn't have worked very well for the plot if she'd have got stopped, but, She shoots past everyone.
Well, they let her in a bit too easy.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit slack with their jobs.
Yeah. And they were like, no, you can't go in there. I live here. And go on then. Like, I couldn't have lied about living there, could I? So
It's been a horrible murder.
yeah. She told me she lives here, and I take her at her word.
Yeah. Could have been terrorist. Terrorist.
And Mike tells Karen that the babysitter's dead, and she reacts a little bit upset for about a minute or two, and then moves on with her life as well.
Yeah, she gets on with it. He's like, what kind of shoes is Andy wearing? Who's made these footprints on the counter?
Yeah, there's some flour was knocked over in the weird freak out fest a minute ago, and there's footprints in it, child-sized.
Yes.
And then Andy sees the flour on Chucky's shoes after he's been blamed, but no one believes him. He gets sent to his room. Karen seems to have moved back, that's Andy's mum, moved straight back into normal mode, even though she just found out her friend, a good friend, because her son calls her Andy, has died a horrible death.
Well, isn't that where Andy explains to his mum that Charles Lee Ray has come down from heaven, sent from his dad
Yes, to play
into
with
the
him.
doll to play with him? Yeah, whack
But that bitch, Maggie, deserved to die, that's what he said.
Yes, that was it,
So
yeah.
obviously his dad's not sending his best people
Yes.
to look after his kid, if that's what he believes. But when she leaves the room after making him say that he doesn't believe Chucky is alive, which is what he's saying,
Yeah.
Chucky notices she's listening at the door, when Andy says, I told you she wouldn't believe us, Chucky.
Creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, and he looks over and notices, so he just does his standard doll thing that the doll's meant to do to make her think everything's all hunky-dory.
So, next morning, Chucky orders Andy to skip school, take the Chicago L train downtown to get revenge on Eddie Caputo. And nobody is questioning this child on this train.
With a doll.
With a doll, on his own, in the middle of the day, mental.
So they get to Eddie's house after loads of people don't do their civil duty and talk to this child, see if he's okay.
Ridiculous.
And you get some really good camera work of Chucky approaching the house in point of view camera.
Sorry.
Just kind of legging it towards the house, and then the camera work from his height of his hand doing the work on the oven and stuff.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Well, I really enjoyed a little line before that. I think it's from Andy, and he goes, I'm just going for a piddle.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, kids can't act, but that was all right.
Yeah, he delivers his lines. I don't think you can ask much more of a child sometimes.
Yeah.
But at least he's about on par with his mum pretending to be upset about the death of a friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so there was a big house explosion when Eddie tries to shoot an unknown assailant to him in his house, and Chucky's released the gas in the oven, so that blows up. And then we cut straight to a scene, and sorry if I'm rushing a bit now, we're running out of 20 minutes on I've forgotten this was a challenge time.
Shit.
Police are interrogating this 6-year-old on his own. About
no lawyer.
what were you doing?
We've all
no
seen-
lawyer, no parent, just a 6-year-old in a police station.
Mental.
Mum
All seen
walks
Making a
in,
Murderer.
like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, exactly. And Andy gets put into care because he says that Chucky's alive and he won't concede that he's not.
Yeah.
And that's when Karen takes the doll home and she's like, "Talk, you son of a bitch," and it's awesome.
Yeah, so she's having a little drink of water. Chucky's in the background. Does he move about? Can't remember. But he's talking.
I checked. I was watching to see if he moved. I don't think he did.
All right, but she picks him up. He's talking to her, and she puts him down, and then she picks up the box, doesn't she?
Yeah, she
goes
goes
to
into
the
the
box.
kitchen after telling him to talk.
That's it. That's when and she talks. He goes to the kitchen. She goes to the kitchen, has a drink of water. That's when he moves behind her.
Yep.
And then she goes to the box. Batteries fall out, and it
Yeah.
says batteries included. So she picks him up, starts shaking him, doesn't she? So
Yeah, she is pissed. Probably pissed as in drunk and
probably
angry.
that probably was vodka,
yeah.
not water.
Yeah, and she takes him over to the fireplace. He
Comes alive
I've missed a bit.
and he falls on the floor and then he rolls underneath the sofa.
Yeah, and he comes alive like just enough to wriggle free, but
Yeah.
just enough to make her think, did that just happen?
Yeah.
So she stops.
That's it. He says, "Hi, I'm Chucky.
Yeah.
Wanna play?"
Yeah, oh, that was an awesome impression.
Thanks very much.
But he did it in his normal thingy voice, didn't he?
Hi, I'm Chucky. You wanna play?
Yeah, that was just as good. Yeah. Not as scary. Well, actually, it depends on the circumstance. Anyway, he drops to the floor, rolls under the sofa / couch / settee, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And she pulls him out, holds him up. She's already checked that the batteries aren't in there.
Yes.
Takes him to the fire and lights the fire and basically puts him into a corner, not literally, but saying, you talk or I'm going to put you in the fire and burn you.
Yes.
So he has to come out live and deliver a pretty awesome line that I would love if you were doing your impression.
Stupid bitch, filthy slut!
Yeah.
I'll
Brilliant.
teach you to fuck with me! That was terrible.
No, that was good. It was good. I'm put off
I'm
now.
not a voice man.
No, well,
I'm
you
not an
are. That
impressionist.
was good. I couldn't do it better. Yeah, man, you've lost me now. Oh, yeah, she goes to find Mike. Because Chucky legs it. He's off. She goes to find Mike, the detective, to say Chucky's alive. And I'm going to go and find... If you won't help me, I'm going to go find the peddler to find out where he got the doll and find out basically his backstory. Mike says, don't, it's dangerous, but doesn't really put much effort into it because he's thinking, oh man, I've just finished work. But yeah, then there's a scene of her. Have I missed a bit? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, the peddler, she finds the peddler after a scene of her walking through the city.
Peddler wants a bit more.
Yeah, I think we've got
Than
like 4 minutes. I don't know
cash.
when I put
Yeah,
this
we'll
time
get-
on. We're
yeah,
fine.
We'll get it.
Yeah, and the peddler, she didn't have enough money, so he thought, well, I'm going to rape you.
Natural, apparently. That's the thing that we go
Yeah,
to.
that's weird that he went straight there. I mean, if I was going to try and get payment, it would be like, well, what jewelry have you got? That's the next step.
Nope, he went straight for that.
Yeah. But Mike turns up,
So
punches someone, everyone magically knows he's a cop, and they run. They do. He punches someone, he falls over and goes, shit, he's a cop! And everyone runs.
80s.
Yeah.
Brilliant time.
I'm not dissing it. I
No,
love
no.
it.
Yeah,
It's
I know you do.
amazing.
Yeah.
The peddler says about the burnt out shop of Mike. Obviously remembers that shop's where he killed Charles Lee Ray.
Yes. Then they go to... Do they go to the hospital next to get Andy?
No, they drop. He drops her off, and she's like, "What are you talking about? We've got to go find Charles Lee Ray's house."
Oh, yes.
And he's like, "No, I've done that before." And she gets out the car.
Yeah.
He goes to the precinct, pulled Charles Lee Ray's files,
Yeah.
and gets in the car and is attacked by Chucky. Another brilliant scene
Yes.
where he gets him from behind the seat, starts strangling him. And then this knife through the seat is amazing and scary, and just like it's like one of those things where you put yourself in that position of, oh my god, that would scare the hell out of me.
Well, it's almost cut his gentleman's excuse me's off, isn't he?
Yep, he certainly did. I've never heard gentlemen's excuse me before. I'm going to use that in everyday life from now.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, the car flips. He doesn't lose his gentleman excuse me's, but I would have crapped my gentleman's delicates.
Yes.
With a little doll running around outside with a knife. He managed to get a shot in though, doesn't he?
Yes.
That's as he's coming through the back, like freaky as
Yeah.
hell.
Yes.
He manages to get a shot in and blows him away. And then he turns up at Charles Lee Ray's house where Karen is, and is painted a shrine to
Yes.
the occult, basically, to
Haitian.
John, his Haitian...
Haitian voodoo priest.
That's the
Dambala. So Chucky is off. He's bleeding now, and he doesn't know why, because he's a doll, obviously.
Yeah,
So he goes and searches out John.
yeah.
He gets to see John. He's like, what's up? I'm bleeding. And John's like, well, you're turning into a human. You need to get out this body. You need to find the person that you've told your secret to. The
first person you revealed that you are alive to, which just happens
Yes.
to be Andy,
Andy.
a 6-year-old, which makes him really excited he's going to be 6 again. I'd personally be devastated I had to kill a 6-year-old.
Yes.
But, you know, different people.
But there is a great line in that. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But it's like, oh, well, now I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You have a date with death.
Yes. And
he kills him
stabs
with a
the
voodoo
doll.
doll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is brilliant. And then Mike and Karen find John before he dies, and he tells them handily about the plan to kill Andy so he could be the 6-year-old boy, and they rush to the hospital. And, we're out of time! We're going to have to carry on and finish this off. How do I turn this alarm off? There we go. Right, we got. Right, let's do this. We failed the first time.
Okay, let's put that down as a fail. So we're at the hospital.
Yes.
We're looking out the window and we see it's clearly a life-size Chucky on the other side of the thing walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Still looks freaky though.
Yeah, yeah, of course it is.
And Andy sees it, and this is actually some brilliant acting. Him being scared.
Yeah.
He's at the door shaking the thing. He's going, he's going to kill me.
Yes.
He's got tears going, and he's down on the floor. He genuinely looks scared to me. And
Yeah.
that's the type of moment where you can put yourself in those shoes and like, yeah, I can understand. I would be, as a grown man, scared to hell to see a moving doll running up the stairs with a knife.
Yeah.
Knowing they're coming for me. But Andy actually tricks him, doesn't he? Put stuff in the bed.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
Does it?
Yeah, he puts some bits in the bed, and Chucky pulls back the thing to stab him, and he's not
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And
yeah.
Andy runs out the door,
Yeah.
doesn't close it or lock it behind him.
Of course not.
It's kind of the running up the stairs when he should be running out the front door type thing there.
Yeah.
And then there's a hunt scene, which is pretty brilliant in the hospital, in that little, it looks like an operating room.
Yeah, I think it's an operating room with a Nancy doctor.
Yeah.
He was a little bit too over-friendly for my liking.
Oh, was he?
I don't think you can touch kids like that nowadays.
I didn't notice.
It got very handsy
Really?
with Andy.
Oh, maybe there's a bit of backstory there we don't know about.
Yeah, so I'm not that upset that the doctor died.
No, well, who locks a kid in a cell on his own anyway like that just for having a bit of a
An
mental health
imagination.
issue? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a horrible hospital, by the looks of it. It's an absolute nightmare place to be, which is pretty good setting for a film, and maybe that's why they did it. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, Andy escapes. People think Andy killed the doctor. Oh, shit, the doctor gets killed. I
Yeah,
skipped
he
that bit
does.
handily there.
Yeah,
He gets his
electroshock.
head fried with some really bad makeup, but...
I like it. I think it's nice.
No, yeah, it works.
It
Plus,
shits, but
I'm
I
watching
like
a film made in 88 on a HD TV.
Yeah.
You're going to see things that you wouldn't have been able to see
Yes.
originally. But Andy goes home. I don't know how he gets home.
Wow, this is...
I don't know if it's explained or if I've just missed it. But he barricades himself into his apartment flat and doesn't think about the chimney. And I don't know where the chimney would be in an apartment, but he uses it to get in.
That's true.
Lands in the fireplace.
Yeah.
Has everyone got a chimney? There's a lot of chimney stacks. And then he gets chased around the flat, which is pretty scary for a kid to have to do, be chased around by a doll.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
He gets a bonk on the head. Second bonk of their head there in the film. And Mike and Karen arrive just in time to stop his voodoo ceremony.
Yes, as he's trying to transfer his soul.
Yeah, he's doing that
into
chant
Andy.
you like.
Yes. I wish I'd written it down.
You should have
but
learnt it.
Yeah, I
Your
know.
impression would have been great.
I literally only know, oh, great Dumbala. That's all I know.
Alright, isn't that the intro to Lion King?
Uh,
great Dumbledore!
Probably same sort of stuff.
Yeah, something. Where am I now? I've lost myself with a Lion King impression dropped into a Chucky film.
Chucky's in the flat.
Yeah, chased around, bonked on the head. Mike turns up. Well, Mike and Karen turn up. Mike chases him around, is looking for him under the bed. He gets bonked on the head. 3 bonks on the head now.
Yeah, he gets a knife in the leg as well, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. That's first, isn't it, when they're pulling him off?
I think when they're pulling him off.
Oh, dear.
That's a different kind of film, that is.
Yes. Well, he was removing him from Andy.
Also a different kind of film.
Right. People get the picture. Maybe they don't want it. I don't know. There's no way to say it now. It's not going to sound just...
Yeah. I'll just go with it.
Yeah, okay. So, Mike pulls off Chucky. But he gets bonked on the head. Karen shoots Chucky, and there's a fight. And there's what do you want to take the bit?
Well, this is where Karen chucks Chucky
Yeah.
into the fireplace.
How many Chuckies can a woodchuck chuck?
Oh, not many. Obviously, scrumpy. Chucks him in the fireplace, and then Andy lights the match and sets him on fire, which I think is quite a
That's awesome.
bit weird. And he's melting. He's gone off. They're like, "Oh yeah, he's dead now," and he comes back alive again. That's where Karen shoots him, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, shoots his... Well, first of all, this is melted amazing doll running through the hall.
That's true.
Shoots him in the
Oh,
head.
he comes out of the fireplace and crawls all over that sofa.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good fire-resistant sofa, that is, because he's on fire.
It sets
And
on fire a little bit, but it goes out,
Yeah, it
apparently.
goes out. That's good. That's what you want.
Yeah,
Well done, mate.
Don't make them like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
My sofa will be up in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Karen shoots his head off, shoots an arm off, and shoots a leg off, and then empties the gun into his chest. And assumes that, for the second time, he's dead. And then, just as she's thinking, is he dead? Another cop goes up and goes, hey, what's going on here? But in an American accent, not a posh English one.
Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah. That doll looks like he's sleeping with the fishes.
That's a mafia film now, is it?
No, there's only 2 American accents I can do, and they're both offensive. So, yeah. The other cop turns up and doesn't believe the doll's alive. He brings the head into the room where Mike's cut on the floor and been
Mike's
bonked on the
already,
head.
Mike's already told him not to touch it either, and he picked it up.
Yeah, and then he's like, I told you not. I don't know why touching it would really... Anyway. And then the other cop's like leaning against the wall like, yeah, what are you all talking about? Yeah, what are you all talking about? And then a vent pops off the wall.
Chucky comes out of the vent. Well, what's left of him.
And then the head comes alive.
Yeah, the head's telling the
Starts
body
yelling,
to kill him.
kill him! Grab him by the throat, don't let go! And
Kill him.
But then they manage to throw him down on the floor. Karen says you need to shoot him in the heart. Mike grabs a gun, obviously knows how to use one. He's a cop, aims for where the heart would be on a doll, because they get taught in police training where if you're aiming for a doll, the heart's pretty much the same as a human, but scaled down. And the blood splatters out, which lets you know he's hit. He turns to the other cop and says, you believe me now? And the other cop says, yeah, but who's going to believe me?
Yeah, great line.
That should have been the last line of the film. There wasn't. I think there was a couple of other lines that are not really notable.
No.
And that is the plot of Child's Play. So shall I see how far we've run over?
Yeah, let's do it.
7 minutes.
That's
27
all right,
minutes.
27 minutes. That's not too bad.
Yeah, we've got something to beat now.
Yeah.
Next time, 27 minutes.
Target.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on. Next section of the Madhouse today is Frights and Delights.
So this is where we're going to talk about our favourite and our least favourite parts of this film. And maybe a little bit of a couple of little true facts as well. So this film had a lot of controversy when it came out in 1988. The MGM studio got picketed by protesters because they thought it was inciting kids to murder. If you can fucking believe that.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Wow.
Obviously.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to just go out and fucking kill something.
Yep.
But the Child's Play franchise has been credited. I don't know if you can say credited for real life murders.
Does it have a number of real life murders? Or
Yeah, there's a few.
Okay.
So I'm sure some of our listeners know about the James Bulger. Is it Bulger?
Jamie Bulger.
Jamie Bulger. Yeah.
Yep.
So those sick fucks. They abducted this boy from a shopping centre, tortured, abducted, killed. And a couple of days before, they had rented out Child's Play 3, and that was a big thing in the papers.
Shit, I had no idea.
And the other one that was happened in England as well, Greater Manchester, was Susan Capper. She was 16. A group of people kidnapped her, kept her in prison for 7 days. She was beaten and tortured, and then she was taken out into the woods, petrol flowing on her, set alight. And while all this torture was happening, she was played a recording of a guy just saying, "I'm Chucky, wanna play?" over and over again. Now, it's ridiculous if you don't. Tom Holland actually said about these, he was defending the film, obviously, stating that viewers of horror movies can only be influenced by their content if they were unbalanced to begin with, which is fucking true, isn't it?
I watched it. I had no intention to go out and do anything horrendous after
Absolutely
I watched it.
Not. No, it's just...
I had the intention of watching 30 minutes of comedy before I went to bed.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I had no idea. That is horrendous. People who do that are absolutely mental to begin with.
Absolutely. So what's your favourite bit of this film?
Well, I have a few delights here. One is Chucky is revealed to Karen when she's threatening to throw him on the fire, which is we talked about already, so I won't get too much. But just the animatronics of that face turning from the nice, well, not nice, it's still freaky, but from that kind of neutral face to the scrunched up. What does he say again, Jimmy? What's it?
Now, Chucky, want to play?
That's the wrong bit, but nice try. Filthy bitch. Or
stupid
like
bitch, filthy slut.
That's the one. Yeah, that reveal's brilliant. Because it's so long since I'd seen it, I've forgotten that was how the reveal was, and the build up to that is brilliant. So that's one of my delights.
Yeah, well, one of my favourite bits is when Chucky meets John, and he's got the voodoo doll, and he's snapping John's bones. I thought that looked quite good. So,
it was done quite well, actually.
Yeah.
With John falling over in pain. I like the use of Andy, who is speaking for Chucky before Chucky reveals himself, because I think that builds the tension brilliantly.
Yes.
Like, instead of just saying, here he is, a talking doll, and we get used to it by halfway through the film, it's quite far through before he does the filthy slut line.
Yeah.
And he reveals himself to her. It's the same time, really, he reveals himself to us. And plus a kid's voice saying things like, Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news. In fact, it's more like, Chucky.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I mean, it was really well done. Camera used to show Chucky's perspective, another way of showing us what he's doing before us actually seeing him in action from our point of view. That builds the tension up great. We're seeing him doing things like turning that gas dial. It works really well.
I tell you what bit I like. I like the bit where he's coming back to the flat and he's in the lift and he's there, and then two old people are in the lift and they go up, and then she's like, ugly doll, and he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, just till they're out of earshot. Fuck you.
Yeah, I like that. You ain't got the balls to say it to her face because you know she's going to have you.
Yeah, well, there's two of them.
Two of them.
Have you got any downsides to the film? Parts of it
not really. I mean, it's aged all right, I think. I think it's aged quite well as a film.
Yeah, my one fright is about that.
Okay, go on.
And it's so I'm being put off. I can hear laughing through my mic, through my earphones. I think it might be people downstairs because our mic stands on the floor. Anyway, some parts I can tell too obviously that it's someone in a costume.
Yeah.
And it takes you out a little bit of the film, but I don't hold it against the film in any way. Because you wouldn't have noticed on older TVs, in not HD.
Yeah.
And also, what else are you going to do? I would prefer them to do that than use CGI.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's 1988. They haven't got CGI.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if they had CGI, I would be glad if they didn't use it and used practical effects instead. But that's all my frights and delights. Any more?
No, I think that's... Oh, wow. But my favourite quote, I think we touched on it earlier, but my favourite quote of the film from Chucky, when he's with John, and he says, the only person I let in on the fact that I was still alive was a 6-year-old kid. I'm going to be a 6-year-old kid again. Well, John, it's been fun, but I gotta go. I have a date with a 6-year-old boy. And you have a date with death. I think that's a great line. I think that's funny. That's
I reckon
a funny line.
We should do a radio play of Chucky because the impression's amazing.
Okay.
Coming soon. We'll get Mark Hamill in it. No, we don't need Mark Hamill. We got you. Screw Mark Hamill. Right, we done with frights and delights?
Yeah.
So on to the next section then, which is Master of the Macabre.
Master of the Macabre.
So it's time for Master of the Macabre. Have you got one pick for this, Jimmy? Two picks for this?
I've got one pick for this, yeah.
One?
Yeah, just the one.
Okay, well I have two.
Go on.
So shall I go through my two?
Yeah, go on.
And if one of them matches up with yours, that's the one, isn't it?
Yep.
I say I have two. I know who it wants to be already. I'm not going to tell you yet. My first choice was Alex Vincent, who played Andy the Kid.
Okay, why?
Because he's better than all the adults. Only because it was the one scene, him being upset at Chucky coming to the hospital, was actually, I thought, a bit of really good acting.
Yeah.
And that bit of acting was better than Karen, his mum. I can't remember her name, sorry, but the actress' job of pretending to be upset that her best friend had died. She was over it quickly. She sent her son to school the next day.
Yes.
And was just like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Catherine
work.
Hicks, her name was. Catherine Hicks.
Yep. He had the line that I think was supposed to be the equivalent of the yippee-ki-yay. Or the hasta la vista, baby.
Is that how we're going to rate quotes?
Or the
It's the yippee-ki-yay factor.
of this film. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll do that from now on.
Yeah.
There was a few yippee-ki-yays in this anyway.
Yeah,
I think
quite
the
a few.
fuck you was yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
Chucky is in the fireplace about to be burned, and he goes, "But we're friends to the end, Andy, remember?" And Andy just says, "This is the end, friend."
Yeah, okay.
And I liked it. Plus, he's got the freaky child voice. He shouldn't get a point for that because he's a child, and he should have the freaky child voice.
Of course, it's just his voice, isn't it?
Yeah, like when he says, "That bitch got what she deserved." I was like, okay, yeah. But my other choice was, I think it's Brad Dourif.
Dourif, yeah.
Because he made a doll the best character in a film. I don't mean just because it's the main character. I mean, the amazing voice acting.
It was great.
Voice is perfect. He gave a doll a personality, a shit personality.
Yeah.
But angry and aggressive in a brilliant way. Just, I believed that doll wanted to kill things.
Yeah.
So out of the two, I mean, the reason I went for Alex Vincent is because I can find a few things. The reason I went for Brad Dourif is I can find one thing, is that he is Chucky. He's the best man for the job. So I think for me, Brad Dourif wins.
Well, what I've got written down, I've got Brad Dourif written down.
Yeah.
Of course. He's an Oscar winner as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he played Billy Bibbit in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No way, that's him.
Yep, that's him. He's in Lord of the Rings as well. He's in every Child's Playing Chucky, I think, does the voice. So
Yeah.
Obviously, except the new one, but we'll get there.
We'll see.
Yeah, so I think it's got to be him.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I would go for Brad Dourif.
I mean, it doesn't look like a Haitian voodoo serial killer, but sounds great.
No, he doesn't look like one, and he does do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
And, he wasn't really a Haitian voodoo man. He was abusing a practice. I think he was taking advantage of John, which, by the way, doesn't sound like a Haitian voodoo name either.
That's a good point. Yeah, it does not at all.
Nope. All right, so I think that's our Master of
Boom,
Macabre. I
Brad.
don't think there's ever any question.
Nah, Brad Dourif.
Yeah. So next up we have...
The Madhouse Rating System.
This is the Madhouse rating system. There have been a few changes since the last time. Do you want to tell them about it?
Yes, well, we still have tension, suspense, gore and visual effects, performance, and musical score / sound effects as 4 of the stars that our films have to reach. But the 5th one, which was cinematography, has changed. We did it last episode for a puzzle, and we figured
We don't know anything about
cinematography. Yeah, every week it would be, I liked the camera work.
good camera work.
Yeah. Or I didn't like the camera work. Bad camera work.
Yeah.
So basically that would be crap. Plus also we realised there wasn't enough flexibility for us to actually put our opinion in. Like, there was nothing wrong with Apostle on all 5 of those.
Yeah.
Technically, but we couldn't give it 5 out of 5 in our opinion. So the 5th star is just overall experience. Now we can decide whether the experience was good or bad with our own reasons, and it gives us as hosts our own kind of leeway to give a star. We can give an extra star each, or we can take a star away based on just our overall experience of the film, which does technically mean you could get a 6 out of 5 star film. But I'm alright with that, I don't mind.
Yeah,
That just
I'm
means
fine
it
with
was
that.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's get after it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Star 1, tension, suspense. What are you saying?
I am saying, well, it gets a star.
Yeah?
Definitely.
I I'm going to be a bit harsh on this.
Ooh.
Because why do you want to give it a star?
All right, there were the film from beginning to end is one big build up of tension and suspense to that final fight scene. But there is the little sub tension areas going on in between. So you start off with not seeing Chucky move, and it's built up through Andy, and then you see him move and come to life, and I can see in your eyes I'm trying to convince you to give it this star.
Yes.
So I'm doing it. And then it kind of raises again, and it raises the tension at the hospitals. Every little bit of the sub bit of tension throughout the film builds up as well as the overall tension of the film comes. First bit is Chucky running around the flat, flashing across the background behind Aunt Maggie. There's a bit where she's wondering what the hell goes on with a flower on the floor. Then the phone rings and makes you jump, makes her jump.
Yes.
In Eddie's house before the explosion, the point of view camera, the tension of him going around being chased by Eddie. Eddie doesn't know what he's chasing. It would freak him out if he saw it. Then the Chucky attacking Mike in the car. Now the first bit when he gets in, you see him pop up. It's not necessarily massive tension then, but when the car has flipped over and Chucky is running around, skitting across the screen outside.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where to look. Doesn't know where to point his gun. Chucky's coming at every angle.
Also, that's a different kind of film as well.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm glad I put an explicit rating on this podcast on iTunes.
Christ.
If they ever accept us. And then there's a hunt scene in the hospital when the doctor gets killed. That's got good.
Yeah.
I got a few.
Yeah, okay. I'm just waiting for Chucky to move. That's the
So you
build
think
up.
it's too slow a tension build up?
Yeah, basically. And then that's my feeling. I'm just waiting. I just want to see him move, and then it's done, and then he's into it. I don't think it builds up.
Oh, I love
That
the
much.
slow burn.
The slow burn. You got to cook it low and slow.
Yeah, and then it pops.
All right, what are you saying?
I would give it the star. But
Right, let's give it a star.
yeah, does that mean I'm going to have to concede later on?
Well, we'll see. Next up.
All right.
Gore / visual effects. So there's no CGI in this film at all.
Nope.
So it was animatronics.
Yep.
And I think it was possibly Tom Holland's son that said on the set it was very, very difficult to control the robot Chucky. And
Okay.
it took a lot of time and a lot of effort. And then we've got Alex Vincent's little sister dresses up as Chucky. Pop that in. And also Isaac Coroner, who was in Children of the Corn, who's credited as Walkabout Chucky.
Okay.
Does the other stuff. And Ed Gale, professional dwarf. Can you say that?
Is that his...
Little person.
But that can't be a job title.
It's not his job title, I've just said it. Dwarf, midget, little person.
Yeah.
He's
They're
Chucky's
all
stunt double.
true, but are they all okay to say?
Sorry if there's any little people listening.
If you are listening, email us at the manhousepodcast@outlook.com and address it to Jimmy. You bastard.
Anyway, that little dwarf. No, I don't know.
I love the practical effects.
I
Am I
think
being
it
too
is
generous and you being too tough? Maybe.
I don't know. I think I'd give it for a visual effect. And
I give it practical effect.
practical effect, yeah.
Because, I mean, the gore, the way I see gore in a film is if the gore suits the film,
Yeah.
then it does well.
Yeah.
If it goes too over the top for the film, or there's not enough for the film, I don't want to watch a Saw film and see no gore.
Yeah.
It loses a star.
I reckon for 1988, I think it was good. I think we'll give it. I'm saying give it a star.
Yeah, I would give it a star. And I want to say my favourite bit is when it's been in the fight and he's melted and you can see the animatronics in the face afterwards.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
creepy.
The animatronic doll with the facial expression is amazing.
As a kid, when you watch that, that's going to freak you
whack
out.
that in a film now, but they wouldn't because they do CGI,
No,
but
yeah.
it would look nowhere near as good.
Right.
So that's
3.
2 stars.
2 stars. 3, performance. Now, I've got a line here that I written down while I was drunk the other day whilst watching this film. Under performance, I've simply write 3 words. Kids can't act.
No. Well,
Well,
can't
yeah.
act well. Yeah,
I'm saying-
I that one bit in the cell. Obviously, I've already said. I won't go
Yeah.
over it again. I think that's great. But yeah, lots of it slow lines, saying there's the cuts in the films. Where I can't tell if they wanted to cut or because they cut halfway through his lines because he couldn't get the whole thing out.
Yeah.
And this kid's 6. So I don't want to diss. He's not 6 anymore. He's old, probably now. But he's yeah. I get what you mean. And with Karen just not being that upset about it seems to get over too quick for me. I've said that already.
I think
There's a few
Brad
things I've
Dourif.
said already.
I think Brad Dourif nails it. I think
Yeah.
the rest of it, nah, I'm not giving it a star.
Yeah, even like when the cops leaving the apartment just after
Yeah.
Maggie's died, and he just pushed the door open. So are you gonna call me? And it's like,
Yeah,
her friend has just died. You know, it's like, so are you gonna call? I mean, it wasn't for a date; it was for information. But
Yeah.
it was a very light-hearted way. Yeah, no, I think it loses a star for performance, but the whole film is saved by Brad.
Yeah. So we're on to musical score, sound effects.
Yeah. Overall, it's good.
Yeah.
It didn't go wrong.
No.
It didn't do anything I didn't think suit it. But I don't have any negatives to take away, but I have a plus to give, which is where she's searching for that peddler.
Yeah.
And she's going through the town where all the homeless people, not the whole town, the part of town where homeless people are.
Yeah.
And there's a decent, good, atmospheric, eerie music. And there's bits where she's asking someone, obviously, for directions or questions or if they've seen this guy, but you don't hear her talk at all because the music takes precedent. I do like that. Whether it's good enough to give it a whole, yes, it gets a star.
I don't know. I mean, it definitely wouldn't get a star if they used the song for the ending credits that was written by Simon Stokes and Joe Renzetti. And we listened to it before
Yeah, you
we
showed me this.
did this. And it's a terrible song. You got to YouTube it.
It's worse than that rap at the end of Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
That's what comes to mind because it is a rap to me.
CHUCKY. No, it's terrible. Just listen to it. YouTube
Do
it.
they do that in it?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice when you showed me.
That's because Nat was talking over it.
Probably.
So I don't know. I'm saying no for musical score.
Okay, this is where I'll concede from where you conceded earlier then. Because I would be on the edge of giving it a star, but I'm not convinced enough to argue on it.
Yeah, half star.
Oh,
Did we do that?
yeah, well,
'Cause it's good,
Why
it's
not?
all
We invented
right.
the system.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's 2.5 out of 4.
2.5 out of 4. We're coming in at overall experience now. How did you feel when you watched it?
The first line I've written of overall experience is hell yes, 3 exclamation marks plus 1 star from me.
Okay, I've just written creepy. So there you go.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I remember watching it as a child, and it was horrible. It's like thing of nightmares when you see it as a child. But watching it back now, 2019, it's a few years old now. It is kind of dated, but it is good, and it's a bit camp and it's a bit silly. But then there are.
Do you not love the camp silliness though?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
But then deep down in it, it has some really, really creepy elements to it. Just Chucky moving about, I think, is a doll walking around like that is very creepy.
Is that not the point?
Yeah, that is the point. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
No,
saying
I'm
that's
giving it-
terrible.
No,
How
I'm not.
dare this horror film be creepy
No,
and scary?
This is what I'm saying. That when I was a child, it was terrifying.
Yes.
So, but now as an adult, it's creepy.
Okay.
So
yeah.
two different things.
It did come flooding back when I watched it that I had watched it and I
Yeah.
had probably watched it too young.
Yes. I think the majority of people who are our age now will have seen this film when they were a kid and would have been terrified by it.
Yeah. And if you're like me, you might not have remembered till you rewatched it and then
Yeah.
you'd have been like, I remember everything.
Yeah, and it's possessed toys. It's well, they did it again in Toy Story, didn't they? They're possessed, aren't they?
Yeah, there's probably an argument to make for them being possessed. Is Toy Story a horror film?
Well, deep down, I think
Is that
it
your
is.
choice for next week?
Yes, it is. Wait, you think about it, they're possessed toys as well.
Yeah.
They come alive.
But they're
Well,
alive.
Andy
Yeah. Andy.
Yeah, Andy. See that? I think there's a link there. The guy was Andy, and they're possessed toys.
My theory about
around.
Toy Story, while we're on Toy Story, is that none of the toys are alive, and we are just seeing the beautiful imagination of a child.
Right, I don't like that.
Yours is that they're all
Possessed
by
toys.
demons.
Yeah, maybe not demons, but they're up and about. Anyway, so let's go. What we got on that? 3.5?
Hang on, it was
hold
2.5 out of 4.
Yeah.
I've given it a star, 3.5.
Yeah,
Are you giving it a star, or taking a star, or leaving it as it is?
I'm leaving it as it is, I think.
So we're on 3.5
3.5
out of 5.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think that's what we gave Apostle as well.
True.
Oh well,
Ah.
we're consistent.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
me, it would be better than Apostle.
I think so. I think it is. Better.
Maybe we need to make it a 4 to set a standard.
Let's bump it up half a star. We can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that.
we own this podcast.
Yeah, let's
we
put
made
fours
this
on it.
system what it is.
And I'm sure
Just-
we're gonna get to all the other Child's Play and Chucky's eventually.
Yep. Right, next section. We've got listener mail.
Listener mail.
So there is no listener mail. We have no listeners, but that's not because we're terrible. It's, although there's an argument to be made for it. We have not actually put any podcast out yet. We're doing a couple, maybe 2-3 episodes before we put any out.
Got to get
on
them under our
podcast
belt
feed.
first.
Yeah, and get a bit of a bank saved up. Yeah, so if you have anything you want to say to us about any film we ever rated, whether we got it right or wrong, or the rating was terrible, if we missed out anything obvious, it's by accident because we're rushing through the plot slot
Yeah, plot
from now
slot.
on anyway. But just email us anything you want to say.
So if you've got recommendations for a film we should watch, send them on through.
Yep, and we'll add any we're interested in to the list, the ever-growing list that's already pretty long.
And definitely correct our facts if they are wrong. We just want to hear from you. It would be good.
Yep, so I think we're done for the day.
Well, hold on a minute. We
Ooh.
got to do the next film, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Sorry, I just headbutted the microphone.
I haven't... That's fine. It's not the worst thing to happen to us today.
Well, no.
All right, so you're going to read the IMDb description of your choice for the next film, and I'm going to have a pop.
You gotta pop at it. So, I picked a film. Well, actually, Nat said to me last night, she said, "What film are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to do this film." And she went, "Oh, I don't think Joe's going to be ready for it. You can't drop it on episode 3.
Why is it a long one?
No, it's
A
not a
deep
long
one?
one. So I'm not going to do it. So I've had to choose a different one because she didn't think you could handle it.
I'll never know if I was
Joey.
ready. Why could I not handle it?
You want to take it out with her, mate?
Is
not
it your
me.
sex tape?
It's.
You don't know what to say, do you?
No, I'm lost for words. Right, here we go.
No
right,
denial of a sex tape there.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
So, this is going to be our next movie we're going to watch. When two bumbling employees at a medical supply warehouse accidentally release a deadly gas into the air, the vapors cause the dead to rise again as zombies. Deep breath.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you want to know?
I do want to know because I got to watch it for next time.
Right, okay, so it's the 1984... No, sorry, actually, I got that wrong. It's the 1985 greatest year, because I was born, there's some good films
Okay,
come out. that
not
year.
old with them.
1985. It's the punk rock horror film, The Return of the Living Dead.
Ah, okay. Okay, yep.
There's a lot of muff in that film. Don't watch it with your kids.
No, I'm not watching any of these with my kids.
Not the film that I wanted, but we're going to get to that. at
No,
some
because
point.
apparently I can't handle the other
No.
sex tape film.
Apparently not.
No, well, you'd be amazed at how many sex tapes I can handle, Jimmy.
Oh. A lot, I imagine.
Anyway, on sex tapes, that's the end of the show. If you have a sex tape, don't send it to us.
Send them to...
You know what? No, we're not opening any attachments now, ever. Just text, emails, please. And that is the end of the show. Please share with your friends, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. Check out our Facebook, search the Madhouse Podcast. Check out our Instagram at the Madhouse Podcast. And again, email us at themadhousepodcast@outlook.com and let us know your views on this show. This was not that much shorter than the last one. So email us again, tell us to be shorter, and we will see you next episode of the Madhouse Podcast. Yeah! Bye! No
Right,
denial of a sex tape there.